So let's take a tax calculation for any person.
Right.
Okay. You can see the Excel sheet, Abhishek.
Yes, sir.
So first we have to calculate what is the eligible amount on which he has to pay tax. See, the company can give him, let us say in the period of time, which is 1 year, the company has paid him multiple things. Let's call them, let's say we can roughly divide them into salary, reimbursements, which could be a benefit given to him. Some things which are payable in kind. So there might be some payable things in kind. For example, let's call them perquisites or perks. Okay, these are not cash but paid in kind. Be very careful. Huh? Nowadays, this is being taken very, very seriously. Okay, and
I didn't understand. Perquisite, like what type of perquisite?
I'll come to that. I'll explain this. Okay, now fixed salary, this I'll call it fixed component, can be divided into two parts, taxable and non-taxable component, with a limit. Okay. So these are the fixed amounts that you're getting. So basically, what does the company give you? It gives you a fixed amount. Fair enough. Okay. Now let us say I'm paying you, when you look at the, I'm paying you 100 units of salary. Some of it will be non-taxable. Now, which are these non-taxable? We will call them non-taxable components. What are these non-taxable components? Well, we all know these non-taxable components. Abhishek, you know the non-taxable components. So this is HRA, and there is a limit to all of them, right?
I think 1 lakh limit is there.
Yeah, no, HRA limit is 40% of salary versus 50% of salary, depending on the city. Metros, it's 50%. For non-metros, it's 40% of your salary can be paid as HRA.
Okay.
Correct? So that's a big component.
Okay.
Then the smaller components could be, now it has been removed, conveyance has been removed, medical has been removed.
Standard deduction right now 50,000, I think.
So you have a standard deduction. Those two have been merged into as
Medical
one non-taxable standard deduction. Correct?
Right.
And other than that, you have, which is the other ones left, you still have two more components here after removal of medical and these things. You still have two more components. One is, you know, these two components, Abhishek, obviously you could have an LTA.
Yes.
And you could have what we call the children's education
fee
and children's hostel fee. Correct? Yes. There are limits for all of them, like 200 rupees, 400 rupees. Yeah. And for LTA, you know, the limit is approximately 40 to 50,000. Actually, theoretically, the limit is airfare for a family of 4 people.
Yes.
Or first class train fare for a family of 4 people.
Right.
So it comes to about 40-50,000. Standard deduction, you know, is 50,000, and HRA is the big component. These will be removed. So whenever you take a person's salary for the year, you can divide it into the taxable amount and the non-taxable amount, which is subject to certain limitations. Correct?
Right.
So if you look at this, you can see that all this will be removed. Okay, are we clear till now?
Yeah.
Okay, now comes the variables. These are the fixed amounts. Then you could get some aspects like um, yeah, you could get some aspects. I'm sorry, there is also, before this, there are some statutory components,
Mhm.
which could be your PF,
Okay.
correct? And
Mhm.
this is tax free. So all these will be first removed from your tax free amount,
Okay.
correct? Variables are fully taxable. So if I
Okay.
have paid you, let us say, I'm just taking an example. Let us say I've taken a component of, I'm paying you a salary of fixed component of 1 lakh per month.
Mhm.
It might, after you deduct all these amounts, your taxable amount, so this is the total amount, taxable amount may be only 50,000, the non-taxable amount may be around 50,000. It could be possible. I'm just taking as an example, right?
Okay.
Are we okay with this?
Yes, yes.
So after you remove all these components, what is left is this. So this is tax-free. PF, etc. is tax-free. There is no
Okay.
taxable amount. PF or any amount paid towards ESI. Are we okay till now?
Yes.
Now the variables are fully taxable. So this is fully
Right.
taxable. There is no tax exemption on this.
Okay.
Now come to reimbursements. Now this
Mhm.
is where it becomes a little tricky,
Mhm.
correct?
Right.
Reimbursements are the complete amount if you are spending it for company purpose.
Mhm.
It is tax free. If you are spending it for personal purpose, it is taxable.
Right.
So, for example, I'll give you a small example. 6-7 years back, I had a tax audit in my on my own this thing, and it was a fairly stringent audit. They didn't
Mhm.
find any problem with all the components, and everything was perfect. They caught on to only one thing. They said petrol bill. Correct.
Mhm.
So they said, are you using this car for personal purpose or for only official purpose? I said, no, I'm using my car for both personal and official purpose. So they said that the petrol bills which I have submitted,
Mhm.
either you show me for the full year where you travel to and give me a detailed kilometer by kilometer accounting of all the official trips you made, or I will put a, uh, you know, uh, kind of uh, this thing saying 60% will be official, 40% will be personal.
Right.
So I said, boss, for me to calculate every official trip and then calculate, I said, you go ahead and make it 60% official and 40%. So 40% of that, he said, was taxable. So let us say my total reimbursements were, let's say, 2 lakhs rupees for the year.
Mhm.
Okay. He said that 40% would be considered taxable. So 80,000 rupees, he said, was going to be taxable. The remaining 1,20,000 would be considered official and tax exempt.
Sir,
So in reimbursements, you'll have to see which
sir,
are personal and official.
sorry for interruption. Like
Yeah.
as per my knowledge, but my accountants suggest to me like I have a flexi seat. There is a reimbursement allowance, some reimbursement allowances. Like car allowances is fixed up to 2,700. We need to give the car RC or bike RC. For motorbike, you can up to 900.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I'm
madam.
not talking, just 1 minute, Abhishek. I'll come to car separately. It's a perquisite. It's not considered a reimbursement.
Okay, okay,
Okay. So
okay,
car is a physical aspect you're giving to the employee on a lease or some kind of system, right?
okay, okay,
So I'll come to car.
okay.
So reimbursements, personal reimbursements of any type.
Mhm.
And remember, for reimbursements, you need to have a bill.
Right.
This is very important. If you don't have a bill, so reimbursements, when you give the employer reimbursement, you should try to include only official reimbursements, no personal reimbursements.
Right.
Correct. So normally you should have some accompanying documentation to show that this was used for official purpose. Like when I'm claiming petrol bills, I should also put a trip-wise list saying I traveled from here to here, here to here, and these were all the official trips.
Mhm.
Correct?
Correct.
Am I making sense, Abhishek?
Yes, sir. Like, but in my organization, I just remember to employees separately, not in the salary slip actually. Whatever they purchase, whatever they are going, whatever the expenses, I have done the same. I have reimbursed to their account directly, apart from the salary. Is it
Yeah, yeah,
correct?
but this will be considered taxable if that expense is shown as
Personal.
personal.
Okay. But if personal, the why company will reimburse them if they are
The
doing
logic
the.
is that, but see, when I said petrol bill, you can
Uh,
see that the company has reimbursed petrol bills because I had a petrol reimbursement policy in my appointment letter of
right.
up to 20,000 rupees per month.
Hmm.
Correct? And I submitted petrol bills of 2 lakhs for the whole year.
Okay.
Fair enough. But I could not show that the trip was official because I did not have the accompanying documentation.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Now, I'll give you another example. This was my case was very small. Finally, 80,000 rupees pay I had to pay because I was in the higher bracket, 30% of that, which
Hmm.
means I had to pay about 24,000 rupees as extra tax for that year.
Oh,
Hmm?
okay.
24,000 is decent amount, but it is not such a huge amount.
Yeah.
And company has to pay. Individual is not liable because you are supposed to deduct the tax. Correct?
Right.
So I'll give you another bigger example. There was a Pune-based company which was giving the same kind of petrol bills, and unfortunately, like in some of the companies, the bills were a bit fake. I mean, somebody was just filling them out. They had some fake bills, and it was being accepted that this was the amounts.
Mhm.
So the tax came and did an audit. They said, "Show me all the employees." So all the employees were shown. All these people have taken
Reimbursement. Okay.
reimbursement. But these tax fellows are very smart. Don't think they are fools. They are
Right.
too super
Right.
smart. So they said, okay, but you are a software company. How many people have traveled abroad in this period? Please give us the list of all people whom you have sent on deputation abroad.
Okay.
Okay. Because these guys can get it from the passport office in minutes. So these guys
Right.
gave
Right.
them the list. Some out of 5,000 people, 1,000 people have been deputed abroad. Then
Right.
they said, if these people are deputed abroad, how are they doing official trips in India?
Right.
Company was jacked. Then
Okay.
they said, see, we have proven that a certain percentage of bills are fake. We don't need to prove every single bill. We are now saying that your complete petrol reimbursement is a fake scheme. Now
Okay.
that petrol reimbursement amount came to um, almost close to a crore because they have a lot of employees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct? So they said the full tax for few crores, you have to pay the tax on that few crores. So that came to about a crore or so. The company was liable for a single year. Then they said we will go back 6 years because we have a limitation of 6 years.
Right.
So for 6 years you have done the scheme. So therefore, few crores into six, the total amount, believe it or not, came to 25 crores. They
Oh.
put a chapa on the company. Now it is a mid-sized company, not very small, but 25
Yeah.
crores is not a small amount for any company to
Right.
pay.
Obviously.
So that is why it is very important when you're giving reimbursements, it has
Okay.
to be official and you have to have a proper attestation as to, I mean, don't put fake reimbursements. The tax guys catch it like this.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Now I'm giving you the latest tax areas. I'm not giving you, general theory about this.
Mhm.
So when you're giving a reimbursement, you can give reimbursement, but please ensure the bills are there and there is a certain authenticity to the bill.
Okay.
Like even let us take a simple thing like phone bill reimbursement.
Mhm.
Same logic. If you're
Right.
giving a separate SIM card and the person says he's using it only for official calls, that's okay. And it is true also, then it is easy. But
Right.
if that person is using only a single SIM card, the company will say then you're not making any personal calls on your SIM card at all when you have a single SIM card.
Right.
How is it possible? So
Right.
then they'll apply the same logic. Okay, 50% will take as official, 50% as personal.
Personal.
Or
Right.
some percentage they'll take. That percentage depends sometimes on how nice the guy is or sometimes how much the company pays him.
Okay.
Right? So that happens in India, you know that.
Yeah, I understand.
So
Actually, many people made the fake bill of the tuition fee and all that professional development, like one name of reimbursement, the Perquisites, I think you said.
yes.
Perquisites. Yeah. Okay.
So even when you say personal, professional development, then they'll ask you a simple question. Okay, so are you buying books or are you attending training? Do you have the receipts for that? And you should have proper receipts. It cannot be some vague receipts, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful that these bills are authentic, and there must be some logic to suggest that this thing is for official use.
Okay.
Like even things like uniform allowance, etc., all these things, there should be some authenticity to the bill. You can't just pay something and expect the tax guys to just take it for granted that you're doing the right thing.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yep.
please be careful. All personal bills are fully taxable. Be careful.
Okay.
Official things are tax free. And there should be a logic. So, for example, I give somebody a reimbursement for dinner, lunch, or I mean, not dinner, lunch. I give a reimbursement for entertainment allowance to take out clients.
Mm-hmm.
I should have some authenticity who he has taken out, what was the bill, and the bill should be attached.
Okay.
Yeah, you should have some authenticity to this whole thing.
Right.
That's why having a supportive vouchers will be always useful.
Right.
Like in some companies, when you're using petrol bills, they'll also ask you to give where you traveled, how much you traveled, everything.
Yeah.
If you're not having that, the tax guy will happily say, okay, 60-40, 50-50, 70-30, some ratio is put, and he'll chapo you. Yeah, I'm telling you the perfect method.
Okay.
If you're not done it, try to do it. If you can't do it, then the tax guy will catch you someday or the other.
Yes. Yes.
Now, perquisites are even more dangerous.
Yes.
These are things which an company gives as some physical aspect free of charge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now be careful. Even those are taxable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are only two things which are non-taxable or partially exempt, I would call it. There are only three things which you can officially give, which are tax exempt. Okay. These are gift.
Mm-hmm.
I think last I heard a gift of up to 5,000 rupees, like a Diwali gift, something you're
Yeah.
giving. If the value is up to 5,000, it is tax free. But let's say I decide to give every employee iPhone, or let's say iPad worth 60,000.
Mm-hmm.
It will be tax free. It will be tax exempt to the value. That the only 5,000 rupees will be tax exempt. The remaining 55,000, the employee has to pay the tax.
Okay, for example, recently I have ordered Amazon gift voucher to our all employees, rupee 5,000. If I instead of 5,000, if I give to 10,000, then it will be 5,000 will be taxable, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's good. I
Okay.
don't know about that.
Then Sodexo.
Okay.
That is, I will call them meal vouchers.
Yes, meal voucher.
Now, this also has a limit. It is up to 100 rupees per working day, approximately to 20,000 or 2,000 rupees per month.
2,000 per month.
2,400 or something per month, up to that. Depends on the working days. If you're if you're working 6 days a week, it will be 2,400.
Sir, my accountant, like last accountant said to me, like CA, like we can give the 2,000 per month meal voucher benefit to employee. No need to submit the bill.
No need to submit bills. No.
No, you don't need to give the voucher.
No, you don't need to give. The vouchers are enough.
No. If I don't have the voucher as well, I want to say that. She told you only this can be a standard benefit to employee.
You can be in problems. See, why do people give vouchers? See, the voucher, especially nowadays, there are many cases which have been done on this Sodexo thing. See, first some companies started giving very high amounts, some 20,000, 30,000 per month in terms of vouchers. And these vouchers people were using for, see, what is the tax code saying? The tax code, Abhishek, says that What is exempt is a meal, a subsidized meal at company premise.
Okay.
See, originally a factory used to provide, very good meals for people at their factory in the
Right.
canteen. That
Yeah.
used to be considered exempt. There was no problem because
Okay.
how much can a person eat?
Right.
But a lot of companies said, look, we don't have a canteen, so
Yeah.
we will give a meal voucher.
Right.
They said, fine.
Okay.
But then the company started misusing it and started giving huge amounts.
Okay.
So then the tax department said 100 rupees per day is the maximum you can give.
But in
Fair enough.
nowadays, 100 rupees nothing for the 1 week.
I agree, but they said this is the limit.
Right. Right.
Okay. But if you give it in cash, you have a problem.
Yes.
Because how do you know that he has used it for subsidized meal? But if I give a meal voucher, he
Right.
can only use it for food. A meal,
Mhm.
restaurant voucher or a meal voucher, he can only go and eat with that. He cannot use it for cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be careful. The company, you
Yeah.
can get caught. See,
My
the
last
tax.
fee, actually, we recently changed our fee. Actually, is the internal company right now. Before that, we have an external accountant. So, like, they were doing the same practice. For meal voucher, they haven't taken any meal voucher. They just give the benefit of the 2,000 per month to employees in last year.
Yeah.
That
So
was a,
see, if it's a small company, there are few couple of hundred employees. The tax department doesn't bother us because they don't want
we
to
have
do
only
all that.
11. We have only 11 right now.
So small companies, frankly, you don't need to worry too much about these small amounts. Companies don't care. But if it's a big company, you have to be extra careful because then the amounts add up, and then the tax department also is quite eager to catch.
Yeah, because we have the many sister company. Actually, we have the headquarter in the Canada.
Yeah,
Like our parent company in Switzerland and Switzerland parent company in the Canada. So like we are adding with the one big group group Polaris. It is in Canadian.
correct. So are we clear till now, Abhishek?
Yes, yes, right.
The last thing which is very important is car scheme. Car scheme, even if whatever be the cost of the car and whatever be the cost of the lease, there is a certain value which you have to add to the employee's taxable income, which, as you correctly said, maybe 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees. It depends on the kind of lease that you are having.
Okay.
Okay, this is laid down. There is a whole document. If you're, it depends on the CC of the car. It
Yes.
depends on the how much of repair work is undertaking, etc., etc. So if you are saying that this car is used only for official purpose, etc., etc., then there is a certain amount. If you say it's used for both personal and official amount, then there is a certain amount. So that you can check with your car lease company, or you can go to the government documentation in the
Actually,
NICNET.
she showed in the income tax website. If we can found there is a car
The
allowances.
car scheme
Yeah.
is there. It's a table actually. It's not a single this thing.
Yeah. Like
So
it's a
this,
900 cc,
yeah,
like
this normally can be. So this can be. So this comes to around 2,000 to 3,000 rupees normally, unless you have a very expensive car and all, is the taxable income if you give a car lease to an employee. Okay, this 2,000 is tax free. This is tax free up to
5,000.
5,000. Above that is taxable.
Okay.
Okay, so now what you're doing is you calculate all these amounts for each employee.
So, sir,
Okay,
in a year 5,000 limit per month
5,000 per year.
per year.
Per year,
Oh,
5,000 per
oh.
month is a big amount. Okay, then you can very, very easily give. I'll check the recent. There are some recent changes. It might have gone up to 10,000, but I think it is. Oh, for a long time it has been 5,000, but it's per year, not per month.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay. Now the taxable income therefore is calculated. Okay. So obviously this amount is exempted. So I'll mark it in. Let us call it black. This amount is not. So 50,000 from here. let us say some personal reimbursement has been included. Let us presume 10,000 rupees. Gift you're given of some 20,000. So 15,000 is taxable, and you've given him some car scheme for which he has to pay 25,000 taxable income. Correct? So now this whole amount will be added up as
Oh,
his
sir,
taxable income.
sir, car allowance is taxable. I think this should be a exempt.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's 100% taxable. That amount that you're putting as a value, you have to pay as taxable income.
I don't think like if he said to me this comes in the flexi component seats. So like
Boss,
company.
be very careful. If you're giving a car, it depends on the way the lease
No,
is
I'm not saying
constructed.
that we are giving the car. I'm saying if person employee like using own car, 50% for office, then 50% for personal use, then they can claim 2,700 rupees. I think per car, 900 per cc like this. This type of rule is
He
there
is
in
using
income tax.
his personal car and you are giving him a reimbursement on expenses, is it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Or you're taking a lease of that car and giving it to him to
No,
use.
no, not for lease. Only he use a personal car.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Then it is not coming under. This is for car lease. If it is a personal reimbursement of repair work and petrol, then
Mhm.
it is coming under this part.
Okay, okay.
Okay, see, reimbursement is if bills are being reimbursed.
No, she said to me like there should be a standard for 27,500 or sorry 2,700 per month. Company can give the reimbursement of 2,700 to the employee from the salary or like
Against what?
uh,
Against what? Against some bills. It
against like car RC. She said only submit to the
no,
car RC
not
in his
possible.
name.
No, that will be fully taxable then. If there are no bills, it's fully taxable. Please understand, the government is very clear. If
Uh,
you're spending something for company benefit, I'm using my car for
mhm.
company use and I'm traveling to so many locations, then
Just
the petrol which I'm
mhm.
spending and some of the repair work, since I'm using it, the repair work can also be reimbursed by the company in a certain ratio. Till
Sir,
there, it's fine. But if I'm just giving him cash without any bills, it will be fully taxable, Abhishek. Be careful.
no, it's a part of salary actually. This reimbursement.
Then it is a taxable component. Only these
Okay.
are, if it's part of your salary, then it is taxable.
Sir,
It's only for car lease, Abhishek. This guy, whoever is giving you advice, I'm sorry, is giving you wrong advice. Your consultant. Please check with the tax department.
mhm.
Anything which you're giving in cash is taxable unless it is in these components. Okay. Or against bills, if you're giving something, then it's coming under this bucket.
Sir,
Or if you're taking a car lease,
mhm.
then the company is taking the car lease but giving the employee the car, then he has to pay 2,000 because he's using it for his personal purpose also. That's it. But
Okay.
it will be added to his taxable income, though he is not spending any money. He's not getting cash for free. He's getting the lease on which he is using the car.
Okay.
Okay, so be careful. I think there is nothing like check with any good tax accountant. He'll tell you that if you're giving anything in cash for a car, it is taxable unless you are giving him a lease.
I don't know.
So be careful. There is no logic to say this, what you're saying, unless he's spending on the bills.
I don't know. Like last 2 years, he done the
Okay.
same thing. No?
So take it from me. Otherwise, you can always check, on the net or anywhere. You can see
Mm.
clearly there are only these are the way it is structured. This entire amount is taxable.
Okay.
Okay, this whatever is here is not taxable. So this amount may be taxable. Let us say, fair
Okay.
enough. After
Fair enough.
that, the employee has the ability to save some tax. That depends on his tax planning.
Okay. That's called the
So
income tax the sheet, like declaration sheet, right? That
which one?
income tax declaration sheet.
Yes. So then there is some total taxable income, exempt components could be there. Exempt based on tax savings component.
Sir, can I share one sheet to you if you don't
Yeah.
mind?
No, 1 minute. Let me just finish this,
Yeah.
Abhishek, because
But
I'm
there is
almost
a
come to the
query
end.
actually for this reimbursement. That's why I'm asking you.
No, we can
Reimbursement.
discuss this. Let me just finish this. So
Okay.
these tax savings component are your 80cc declarations, right? So
Right.
normally we call them 80 XX declarations. All these 80 declarations, which are normally, you know, the declarations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
80cc up to 1.5 lakhs, etc. These are deducted. These
Okay.
amounts are deducted from the total income.
Okay.
Whatever be your taxable income. Let's say my taxable income was 8 lakhs as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have saved, I have put some investment into pension savings or national certificate savings, post office deposits, etc., worth a certain amount. So I will get an exemption for those amounts.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? So let's say 1,50,000 will be reduced from this 88 lakhs. So now my total taxable income after tax savings is, let's say, 6,50,000
Yes.
as an example. Now the salary bands will come into effect, Abhishek.
Yes.
So depending on your band, for your first 4 lakhs or whatever, it is tax free. The remaining 4 lakhs, you have to pay 5%, whatever be that table here. You know the table, right?
Yeah, I know the table. Can you show here? Actually, I want to learn how you can do that.
Okay, so let us take the table. 1 minute. I'll just open the table for you. Give me 1 second. Okay, now let us look at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the table now
Okay.
for the year 2019 to 2020. Fair enough?
Right. So this is a
So
table for
this is the
20.
income tax table.
Yeah. For the year of 1920 or 2021.
2019 to 2020, right?
Okay. 19 to 20. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. But
Okay.
I think there is late changes now. 1920 like up to 5
Yeah,
lakhs.
every year there will be a rate change. There will be some changes based on budget. Okay.
So currently, I think there is a 5 lakh. What is the currently scenario?
See, this is the current scenario for this year.
Okay.
Next year, it will be different. That is, when you are ending in 2021, there will be a different table. But whatever be the table, the logic is the same. So let's
Okay.
understand the table. So what
Okay.
happens is, for the first for the first 2.5 lakhs, let us say there is no tax. Okay. So this I can divide into first 2.5 lakhs. The 6 lakhs I'll divide it into 2.5 lakhs. The taxable amount will be 0. Okay. Now what is left is 4 lakhs is left, right? Now in that also, now let's say this is 2 lakhs. For the next 2 lakhs, it's only 5%, correct? So actually he will be paying about 10,000, 10,250, whatever be the amount, 5% of 25,000, correct?
Okay. Correct.
Yeah, that's coming to 1,500, correct?
Correct.
Now in this slab, so this is the second, but now how much is left for him is only 1,50,000, correct?
Correct.
So 1,50,000 pay, now it will be in the third slab,
Okay.
20%. So now it will become 30,000.
30,000. Okay.
Right? So like that, you must break it up by slabs, Abhishek.
Okay.
For the first slab, you did this 6,50,000 can be first 2,50,000, second 2,50,000, and then 1,50,000 in the third slab.
Okay.
On that 1,50,000 in the third slab, it will be 20%. Now let us say it was about 10 lakhs is taxable income, then it will go into the third slab, and for that amount about 10 lakhs, it will go into 30%.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Right. Got it.
So remember, there is tax savings. There is no great complexity. There are only whatever is payable in cash except for statutory components and HRA, LTA, and childcare allowance, the children's fund, everything else is taxable.
Okay.
Reimbursements, anything he is giving as a bill is, and if he has a proper vouchering to show that he has spent it for company purpose. So a bill is not enough. There should be a reason for that he has spent it. Like, for example, if I am traveling to 5 hotels, I should give the bills of the 5 hotels and also the official travel, why I have traveled to those 5 hotels, for which purpose. Correct?
Correct.
There is no great complexity. Anything beyond that. Perquisites, meal, a gift, permissible. Beyond that, car lease, company takes the lease, gives the employee the car. Even then, he has to pay some tax because he's using the tax for his personal purpose also.
Right.